Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the clips of the live stream that happened this weekend. The link to the full-length stream will be in the description, as well as the link to the original story. I have clipped these sections together to make the best time possible for the videos, between 10 and 15 minutes. So, if there is more than one story in this video, they may not have sequentially happened in the stream. But, anyways, hope to see you guys in the next stream. If not, don't worry, there'll be more clips next week. There are also ways to support the channel down below if you so choose to do so. And if you could do all the YouTube gumph for this video to help it in the algorithm, it would be very much appreciated. Anyways, on to the live sci-fi. Please note that the only editing I've done to these clips has been to clip them and boost the audio for better listening. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Okie dokie. Story number next. Story number 9. After Action Report, written by Zephy Landantis.
Music. What are you doing? Softer. There we go. Just barely audible, a whisper in the background. Like a silent fart. Okay. Following the scheduled arrival in the Imperium 442 system, Exo Dallas ordered a preliminary exploration path, taking us past the 4 planets in the system, in order to do initial medium scan range analysis. The PEP took us uneventfully past 3 solid objects, of which one was at a distance the star permitting it to have a liquid water. It wasn't until we were en route to the gas giant that Captain Daresh ordered a course change, disrupting the planned flyby by setting a course that would result in the tricard colliding with the core of the planet. As the sensors indicated a gas giant's gravity well beginning to have an effect on the ship's trajectory, the sensors suite operator detected a construct, initially deemed to be a ship of non-human origin, positioned in a location that would have put the tricard in a compromised position, had the captain not ordered a course adjustment. The ship turned around and discharged a high-energy weapon, searing the tricard's in-atmospheric dorsal fin. The captain ordered a close proximity flyby by the gas planet's surface. This resulted in enough turmoil on the surface on the planet to create a smokescreen, covering the evasive course of the tricard and allowing for a high-effect slingshot maneuver to accelerate the ship on an escape trajectory, conversing enough to extend an extrapolation range by a factor of 0.32. The Admiral leaned back in his chair and the clerk finished reading the report out loud. "Is this your report, Lieutenant Hansen?" "It is, Admiral." He rolled a bit forward on his torso and rested his elbows on the half-circle-shaped table in front of him. The remaining 6 high-ranking officers, flanking him with 3 on each side, said nothing. "You are aware of Captain Darris's, he cleared his throat softly, unique situation." I nodded. "Yes, I'm aware of the captain's exotic behavior." One of the officers at the end of the table choked a giggle. The rest held their faces in a parade fixation. The Admiral sighed. "We all are, you Lieutenant, which is why we've called you into this hearing." I cocked my head, indicating a professional confusal. The Admiral continued. "Knowing what we do about Captain Daresh, and having seen plenty of AARs from this crew, reading an AIAR that actually sounds like a routine exploration, despite encountering an alien vessel," he paused, choosing his words carefully. "This is the odd one out." "Admiral, my report follows every protocol regarding AAR submission, and we know this and recognize that this is as the highest-ranking bridge crew. Apart from the commanders, your AAR is the one submitted. You've done nothing wrong, Lieutenant." He leaned back in his seat, his brows crunched up in worried figures on his forehead. A colonel in the Admiral's right leaned into a microphone. "We would like to hear what actually happened. Lieutenant, and more importantly, why you would cover it up. I see. I reached out and grabbed a glass of water. Taking a sip, I gathered my thoughts. Let me start with some background. I began. The colonel snorted and started reading out from my records. I looked at the admiral, who silenced the colonel with a hand gesture. Go ahead, he said as he nodded at me. Are you familiar with the Planese 4 system? I didn't wait for a reply. Don't worry, very few are. It is essentially an asteroid field the size of the Sol system, orbiting a dying red dwarf star. The few ships that make it there without being freighters have one thing in common, and one thing only. They've got nowhere else to go, and no funds to go any further. I was born in that system. For those of you who are of Terran birth, it is a space equivalent of a trailer park, and by comparison, I am the son of trailer park trash. My parents were asteroid miners and made their daily lives bearable by inhaling FTL fuel fumes through their EVA life support. That left me a 10-year-old boy with two options, rock skimming or FTL snorting. I chose skimming. Half the officers looked like I had declared war on their sense of justice. Rock skimming is basically the asteroid field equivalent of a drag race. In Sol, you have an annual tournament that runs from planetary orbital to adjacent planetary orbit. We raced from microplanet to microplanet, surface to surface, through the asteroid belt. And yes, it is very illegal. It gave me a purpose. I had an old, dying skimmer, and I couldn't get spare parts or find repair shops anywhere. So I learned to read, write, repair, and fly. I was good at it, so good that I could join the Terran Fleet Academy on merit of having 6 years of experience on my piloting credentials by the age of 19. Good cheers, Tim. Have a good one. No, don't get me wrong. Flying a starship from System A to System B, then plotting a course, is all good and fun, but, I took another sip of my water. The 7 people sitting in a half circle, all facing me, all looked like I was about to drop a bomb in their laps. It doesn't hold the challenge of interpreting Captain Darris's orders, or, executing them. I guess the reason for me to be very precise on protocol when it comes to the AR is this. Darish is a skilled captain and a good man, for no other reason than that he deserves my loyalty. And if you want more, he challenges me. The Admiral gave me a soft smile. That is 2 very good reasons, Lieutenant. Now, what really happened? We arrived in the system without the captain on the bridge. He'd been busy with the afternoon snack during FTL transit and had spilled his contents of his sippy cup and his son. Let me say that again. He'd been busy with his afternoon snack during the FTL transit and had spilled the contents of his sippy cup on his Santa suit. XO Dallas had suggested to him that he go change into something that wouldn't stain from the prune juice if there was a repeat spillage, and the captain had agreed to and moonwalked off the bridge so as to not stain the floor behind him while sucking on the tassel of his hat. XO Dallas ordered a routine flyby so we could gather data to the science pack, and I plotted the course. After we'd passed the second planet, Captain Darish returned to the bridge and declared a siesta from the doorway. I turned and watched as he tried to maneuver an oversized sombrero through the opening, while keeping it on his head. In feigning to do so, the captain ordered the sombrero confined to the brig and had 2 security staff escort the hat to confinement, complete with standing order to interrogate it and file a tribunal for later. Failure to properly negotiate spatially proportionate access ways with regards to rank and procedure. The colonel lowered her head in defeated realization of what the folder on her desk labeled Sergeant Hattie McSombrero disciplinary case contained. The captain then took a seat in his loving embrace and engaged in what I can only describe as aggressive courting, with the chair as we approached the third planet. The chair had refused his repeated attempts at a second base long enough for him to abandon the plan of action. He grabbed a banana and made eye contact with me. I don't care how many battles you've seen or what war zones you've witnessed. You've never seen pure evil until you've held eye contact with a man eating a banana without removing the peel first. He even ate the little sticker. Hansen, he said as we passed the third planet, still keeping eye contact. Adjust course by 3 degrees port, 2.5 down. I looked around at the faces on the other side of the table and shrugged. After 7 tours with Darius, you stop asking questions. I adjusted the course and every collision alarm on the bridge went off. 30 seconds later, the sensor operator spotted the alien vessel and, you described it as non-human. The General of Tactical Command said, interrupting me. I did, sir. Flying saucer seemed a bit unprofessional for an after-action report. Agreed. Continue. Thank you. Darish threw himself on the decking as the alien weapon discharged, and the damage report on my screen noted that the in-atmospheric flight was discouraged. That was when the captain jumped onto his console and yelled, "Surf's up, my dude! Cowabunga!" So I turned to the tricard collision course and switched the gravimetric engines, skimming the surface of the gas planet like a surfboard, weaving left and right, following the instructions of the captain. The maneuver whirled enough gas up behind us to create a gas smoke screen for us to hide behind, hopefully making whatever targeting system they had on their ship useless. They did, however, follow us into the cloud, and when they fired their energy weapon again, they ignited the cloud surrounding them. I caught the gravity well velocity of the planet and used it to slingshot us into the exit path for the system. The rest occurred as the report says. The Admiral looked at me, his eyes trying to convey something that I couldn't understand. The tricard needs to have half the armor plating replaced. Are you sure? Just skimmed the surface of the gas giant. I shrugged. Must have been a corrosive gas, sir. He nodded slowly and dismissed me. When I got back to the tricard, I told Captain Deresh what had happened at the hearing. His reply was this: "There's a sticker on bananas." End of story.
Well timed, co-host, well timed. Bit of a somber tune, but the playlist is king at this point. Yes, it's very strange to eat a banana with the peel on, but it works to freak people out. Alrighty. Story number lost. And that, my friends, ends this clip of the live stream from the weekend. I hope that you enjoyed. As always, relevant links are down below in the description, and the rest of the videos will be released throughout the week. I hope to see you in the next stream this Saturday at 1700 GMT. And I hope that you have a fantastic one until then, and I will see you all in the next video. Cheers.